Hey, what is going on, Automotive Nation? Welcome back. Thanks for continuing with us on the Game Changer Holiday Series, man. This series has been an absolute blast to record, to put out there. I'm going to say, you've engaged so high. You've asked some amazing questions. I've been looking forward to this session all week long. I mean, I got the one, the only, the oh so famous. She paid me to say it. No, I'm just kidding. She's probably watching right now, anyways. Robin Wilson. Okay, and an all-star group, all right, of just industry experts. They're gonna talk about social media, which I may or may not know something a little bit about, but specifically social media that is really driving results, guys. And I am super, super sad. We're gonna let a few more people kind of join in, get the word out there. I know we're only about a minute to it right now, so I'm gonna let some people kind of jump in. Everyone who got the email this morning, thank you for joining us this morning. Depending on what side of the country you're in or what side of the country you're on, you may or may not have already had a coffee. So cheers to you. I may or may not have a little eggnog in mine. Guys, I'm excited for the holidays, man. And this has just been a great week. I gotta be honest with you. What a great week. Content's been really rich. The questions, holy cow, guys. You guys have it's a great time of the year. I think for anybody out there watching and listening right now, this is a super important time of the year where you really got to be diving into, your operations strategies and make sure you guys are nice and tight and ready for 2026. All right, guys. So today's session is all about something every dealership talks about, but very few actually execute the right way. Social media that drives real results. We're joined by Robin Wilson and an all-star group of industry voices from Social Grenade, and we're breaking down how dealerships can stop posting generic, scroll-worthy content and turn organic social into appointments, referrals, and real revenue. If you've ever wondered why your sales team struggles to post consistently, why your videos don't get traction, or why comments and DMs never seem to turn into conversations, this episode is for you. So go get your popcorn, your donut, your coffee. All right, make sure you grab your notebook, okay? Because we got some stuff coming up. All right, we're talking about building tribes, stopping the scroll in the first 3 seconds, creating trust through transparency, and why organic social is quickly becoming one of the most powerful lead engines in the dealership. So buckle up, grab a pen, and get ready to rethink how your team uses social media, because this one can change the way you sell. Let's get into it, guys. You ready? Here we go. Hey, what's going on, Automotive Nation? I am Jason Harris, and thank you for joining me on another episode.
How many times do we swipe as fast as we can? Hey guys, it's Joe. By the time they get there, I'm gone.
You have to have a hook. You have to grab viewers' attention and let them know that they're about to receive content, either educational, informative, or funny. If there's a way you can deliver a message that's informative, educational, with some humor, you have a very good chance of succeeding.
I'll use real estate because I see this all over my Instagram feed. They'll have a house and you look at it, got all the things on there. The only thing it doesn't have is price. So the first thing people do is say how much, and it says DM me for details, and they won't put it in there. I immediately just go past it. I'm done with you. If you can't answer that question in the light, I don't trust you in the dark.
I was kind of the first guy on TikTok to do behind the scenes content. I want to show the public what do car dealers really do and what goes on behind the scenes. And when you go talk to that guy back in that back office, what are you guys really talking about back there,
Welcome to the Strategy with Jason podcast. Tune in for everything you need to know regarding the automotive industry. Here's your host, Jason Harris.
Hey, what's going on, Automotive Nation? I am Jason Harris, and thank you for joining me on another episode of the Game Changer Seminar, where I went all over the country looking for vendors, partners in our space that are changing the game. And today I have Robin Wilson with me and her crew, all right, over at Social Grenade. And guys, they are truly a game changer. If you need your salespeople to sell from a social perspective, Social Grenade is helping with people, process, and technology to execute that. And I know we all need a little help getting our team to get more involved in social media. Right, Robin?
I agree.
100%.
100%.
All right, hey, thank you so much for joining us online. We really appreciate you. You are a game changer because you're here right now watching this. Robin, take us away.
Thank you. Beverly, we're going to let you moderate for us today. This is Beverly Boatwright.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
This panel is all about why free tools drive real dealer adoption. My name is Beverly Boatwright. I'm the co-founder of SCP Agency, Epic BDC, and Social Grenade. And I'm going to let the panelists introduce themselves.
Go ahead, Darrell.
My name is Darrell Steed with Smart Wolf Consulting and Street Smarts, working on used car acquisition.
Robin Wilson, SCP Agency, Epic BDC, and Social Grenade, the app, the changer for all sales teams.
My name is Sean Payne. I am the founder of Goat Rural Media, social media agency.
Okay, to kick this off, I need a quick show of hands. Who has a team that loves making videos?
How about you guys? Anybody? Christian does.
Or actually, they would probably rather have a root canal, right? So if we went to the dealership salesperson's personal profiles, do you think that we would know where they worked and what they do?
I highly doubt we would know where they worked or what they do other than what they eat.
What they eat? Is that what you said? Yeah, for sure. If we did know anything, we would know that they probably worked at a car dealership somewhere because we would see some customers that are going. So that's pretty much it.
I think more and more, yes. I think the answer is increasingly the percentages are going up that when you get on somebody's profile, they're learning now to give you the information about their career as well, and it's becoming more comfortable. So I think it's rising, maybe 30%.
Okay, well, why do you think dealers overpay for ads while ignoring the free billboard in everybody's pocket?
Take that one.
Well, I mean, the easy answer is they don't know any better. Maybe they had some success, 5 years ago, 7 years ago, whatever it is, with paid ads and paid social, and so they don't know how to adopt to an organic strategy because it's not something that's as easy as paying somebody and then your ads show up. You actually have to do some creative and some other things. So I think it's a lack of knowledge a little bit and a lack of fear of failure.
I think on top of that too is they're so busy chasing the thing that they think that they want, which is ROI. However, I see these same dealers with a billboard. So explain to me how you're tracking the ROI on that, unless you're using a Google number, and that's valid. But your top of mind awareness and your brand imaging are so huge. And if you had an army of salespeople, if you have 20 people on staff, and they all have a device in their pocket to constantly be telling people what they do, where they do, how good they are, setting themselves as the trusted advisors in the car buying process, like even your ads would perform better. So I don't know why they're ignoring it. It's not because they haven't been told.
So, Robin, what's the number one excuse that you hear?
Well, anything from I don't like technology, I hate social media. And the thing is I think if we change the name of it for them from social media to marketing, online marketing, would that be more tasteful for you? Because whatever experience they've had with social media that makes them feel like, I think sometimes because we have such a male-dominated world in the automotive space, that they think social media is for girls. You know what I'm saying? Like they think like, I don't do social media. Like that's a girl thing. So that's the number one thing I see is like, I don't do social media. What do you hear, Darrell?
I was going to make a joke, but I'm not going to now. I was going to say, lump me in with the girls. But yeah, I think when I know Goat and I have talked, and it's search media now, right? It's not social media. 100%. And we were talking last night, and I think it's a great point, is that we forget that it's social. So it's an interaction. It's where people go to socialize. Rather than in media, right? It's something we need to realize. The media is second, that you need to socialize with your people and be seen. So I think that's something people don't understand quite well in today's age right now.
I agree. So, Sean, how does video training stick differently when it's paired with real-world social media activity?
Yeah, I mean, it was such a powerful tool. It always ranks higher on any sort of algorithm search engine. So video is always going to get you better exposure. But video gives you the ability to tell a story. And when you can tell a story, you can relate with somebody that's going through, whatever the platform is. So you get a chance to tell a story, so you engage, you resonate, you connect with people, as opposed to a static photo, which, normally can tell you very little, right? I mean, you can get an idea and you can write great captions, but, video is just captivating. I mean, you want to see what happens next, especially if the creator of the video has the ability to tell a story and keep them engaged throughout the entirety of the video. It's like magic, and like I said, you can connect with people, which is really what we're trying to do in the beginning.
But on that question too, though, like a lot of it has to go back to training, right? Because how many times do we swipe as fast as we can past the hey guys, it's Joe. By the time they get there, I'm gone.
100%,
Right?
yeah.
And so them not knowing how to do video long enough for us to pay attention, learn the timbre of their voice, learn who they are and how they speak to people is like so important that they learn that first 3 seconds.
Okay, well, I have another question here. So if you had to describe the dealership's social media in one word, what would it be? Be honest.
Generic,
Non-existent,
Vanilla,
uninteresting,
boring,
ditto.
lacking.
snooze.
I would, instead of one word, I would say when I look at that is manufacture.
Yeah, and I think on the corporate side of it, not on the dealership's social media, sterile, right? It's really corporate sterile, and they're serving the OEM, and they're not serving their community. For
They're
sure.
just checking a box.
And a new word that I just came up with, so I'm going to share it with you, is I think it's scroll-worthy, meaning you deserve to be scrolled. With the content, and I say that, I know it sounds funny, but if you're going to post something that isn't engaging and that isn't connecting and resonating or isn't genuine, then you are scroll-worthy. You deserve to be scrolled, in my opinion.
Well, and on top of that too, so think about the fact that they treat their social media platforms like their website. And if you could get these car guys, these car dogs that have like learned how to survive all of the decades of being in the car business to understand you have a website for a purpose and your social is for a different purpose. It is not your VDP. It's not a place to put all your VDPs there. Like that's not what belongs there. What belongs there is your community, what your brand is, and who you're speaking to, what story you're telling about your dealership and who your people are.
Okay, do we have a show of hands here? Who has actually sold a car because of TikTok or Reel?
Anybody?
Anybody?
I knew he was going to do it. I knew he was going to do it.
Probably.
He has.
Well, tell us about it.
Yeah, I'll tell you the story about the first time that it really dawned on me how powerful the tool was. And for me, it's TikTok. That's my largest platform. It's the one I love. It's the most fun. It really hit me. I had my Mitsubishi dealership. I was just an equity partner in Cleveland. And a guy sent me a DM. And I remember like it was yesterday. His name was Juan. And he was from California. And so we're talking about buying a brand new, I had a Mitsubishi store. And I realized that he was from California, and I'm in Cleveland, Ohio. So I said to him, you know, Juan, let me be very clear. I'm happy to take your money, and sell you a car. But I have to know, why are you buying from Ohio? There's 70 Mitsubishi dealerships, between here and there. And not to be funny, like, Outlanders aren't in demand, really.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
They all
like,
stocked up.
I'm a little bit of a realist, you know what I mean? Like, and he said, I'm buying it from you. He said, I'm willing to pay $2,200 extra for shipping to buy it from you because I know you, because I've been following you for over a year, and I want to do business with you. And I think that was the time where I was like, this is absolutely where all my effort's going to go.
And that's what's so huge, right? Is because, and I can say this is because of being a woman, but even men, like a lot of times, if you don't know who your salesperson is, it's time for you to get a new car, and you don't have a relationship with whatever brand that you're wanting to go into, and you don't know anybody. You're walking into this like shooting range, like you don't know if the person who ups you has been there 5 minutes, he's the green pea, doesn't know anything about anything, or whether like he's just, you just don't know anything about him. You're walking in blind, and so if these salespeople and even dealerships could build relationships online so people feel like they know you before they get there, just like he did, they would be coming in, and whenever they showed they'd be going, I'm here, someone's upping them at the dealership, and they'd go, nope, I'm here to see Darrell. Where's Darrell? I'm only going to see Darrell. I'm not talking to anybody but Darrell. And that power is so huge.
Agree.
Yeah. Okay, this is a question for the dealers. Hold up your fingers, 1 to 5.
If you're
the
missing
middle
one,
one.
just go to 4.
Yeah, it's all good. If all your third-party leads were canceled tomorrow, how ready is your team to convert leads from social?
Think about that. If they all went away, how would your team, are they ready to take on social media and convert that into a machine?
A lot of blank faces.
Everybody's afraid to raise their hand.
I see no fingers.
No fingers. Sometimes that's good.
Well, I think that's because we know the answer. I mean, that would be a scary proposition as a dealer, coming from the dealer side, to all of a sudden have the habitual advertising that we do because we don't know any different on these third-party sites. We just stay with it, right? And they have us all hooked and addicted and thinking we can't live without them. The idea of that not being there anymore, I think, scares the daylights out of a lot of dealers. They wouldn't know what to do.
But you want to know what? They had an experience of it, sort of, during COVID when TV and radio wasn't working, right? Nobody was driving in their cars, so radio was irrelevant. And the only thing that was on TV was all of the bodies being stacked up in refrigerated coolers in New York City. So like the TV ads that were tone deaf if you were placing those. And so every dealer was like having to turn to social or digital to be able to even get their word out there. And so they learned it and then they unlearned it whenever the MSRP thing took over and they were all buying Bentleys or something.
Okay, so what does adoption look like when the 25-year-old on your team and the 55-year-old on your team post daily? How does that look?
Those should be night and day. You're looking to attract your tribe. That's Robin's word. I stole it 6 months ago. It's mine now. But you're looking to attract your tribe. And what I mean by that is if I post at 50 years old, I'm going to resonate with a different audience than my
50?
I'm sorry, I was talking. Jason, did you hear something? I'm sorry. Static in the background. So at my age, I'm going to resonate differently. We have different life experiences than we did at 25, so I can, connect with you a little bit differently. Whereas if somebody who has the emotional and mental maturity like Darrell of a 22-year-old, then he's going to resonate differently because he's going to talk to people even down to the lingo and the language and the words that they use today, which I know the 4 people on this panel struggle to keep up with. Those should be
No
night
cap.
and day. Your content should be you and genuine. I should not be trying to act like a 25-year-old. You should not be trying to act like a 50-year-old.
Whatever. So also, I think sometimes we'll see them gravitate towards different platforms, don't you think?
100%.
Like we'll see, whereas the older generation, the Gen X's and even boomers, whatever, will gravitate more towards Facebook. They're probably going to gravitate more towards Instagram and TikTok,
Sure.
and they're going to be on those platforms. And their tribes are on those platforms. So the people who would buy from them are also on those platforms that they hang out on. So I think that's probably the difference too.
Okay, so if you had to choose, would you invest in another lead provider or teaching your team to build leads organically?
What do we all vote?
Yeah.
We all vote. We all vote.
Yeah, I would say social, for 2 reasons though, and I want people to understand that is the lead providers, I see it all the time on acquisition, they see it all the time on the BDC, is I've never heard a dealer saying, man, the lead provider we have, every lead we get, it's so great. I mean, these are just the perfect leads. Like every one of them, our closing ratios are through the roof. I don't hear it. It's feast or famine. Our close ratios are terrible, typically because of process and lead handling. And on the acquisition side, it's because the same thing. But on social, you're creating a connection. So when you get referrals or you get things, which Goat can speak to this, is their referral. They come into you and who contacts you personally and then says, never mind, I don't want to do it. Because there's already a connection there. So it's already a better conversation and a lower funnel opportunity.
Well, and I think most dealers don't even know what the ROI is of their current lead providers. Very few of them. There are some dealers that, say probably 25% of them that track that and keep on top of that. Like they have a good marketing department that keeps on top of that. Probably big dealer groups are more in tune with that. But your guy that owns onesie twosies dealerships, he doesn't even know what his ROI is on his third-party leads right now.
Yeah, and the nice thing about it too is I don't know why a guy would do another third-party service or sit there and take the price, raise that they seem to do every 6 months because, it's a price-based funnel lead, meaning, the only way that you get any VDP, SRP activity on those sites, you might get an email or a text or whatever, is if you have the lowest price. You come up at the top of the page. There's 25 cars on the page. If you're 1 or 2 or 3, maybe, you might get a VDP. You might be lucky enough. So I'm not sure why I would pay a site to lower the prices on my car so much that that's the only way I get any activity, or like Darrell said, that I can just post and make a connection with the person. It's not price-based at all, and we all know a referral is the best lead we can get.
I'm glad you brought that up. I was going to hit you and make you do it anyway.
And that is what a referral is. This is where we get our referrals for everything today. This is where we get our referrals, and that's where I want to be.
Yeah. Well, on top of that, so you think about that, you've already made a relationship, and a referral and Goat told me this, and I steal it every day now for 6 months, so there's that. So the referral is the highest grossing transaction that you're going to make, because that trust factor has already been allocated to you from whoever referred you, right? And so social is kind of the same thing. So whenever they refer you and they come in here, they've started building a relationship with you. They're not price shopping. They're already building that relationship. And so you can get those higher grosses out of them. So why would, like Sean says, jump to the bottom of the pricing barrel when you can jump to the top just by training your sales team on handling leads in social media?
So that's a perfect segue, Robin. So Sean stole your word, tribe. So how do you use organic posts to attract a tribe?
Oh my gosh,
Explain
this is
that,
my
please.
favorite subject of all. So where Sean works in TikTok all the time, Facebook is my main playground. And I play on the others too, but I know how to manipulate the algorithm within Facebook. So that's where I stay most of the time. And if I need TikTok help, I go to Sean and go, how do I do this thing? And he's like, you got too many seconds between your next word. He edits it down and chops it all up. And I'm like, I'll just send him my videos and he'll go, okay, now post that one.
That's exactly how he says it,
Right,
too.
exactly. He's like, hang on, just a minute. It's horrible.
Because I say it to you too. Yeah.
Hey, stop doing that. You're putting too much crap in there. Make it shorter.
It's horrible. It's horrible. It's horrible. So, but on Facebook, to create a tribe is so much fun, right? So I use this analogy a lot. I've tested it so many times. So creating a tribe. So whatever, I think of all of my posts, if I'm doing a static post, or even if I'm doing a video, I think about them in two parts. So today, I'm going to suck you into my vortex, and tomorrow, I'm going to give you what I want you to see. But the vortex that I suck you into will be the tribe. So let's say that, I'm going to use boomers because I am one, so there's that. So if I wanted to, and I'm going to use the same analogy, and all of the Hyundai dealers will be so mad at me, and I don't care because I love this analogy. So if we think about, there's 3 different vehicles right now that I think are the perfect boomer vehicle. And it's the Maverick, it's the Santa Cruz, and it is the Honda Ridgeline, right? All of them are not real trucks, sorry. I mean, they're not like, I'm gonna go build a house truck. They're a, I wanna haul stuff around truck, or I wanna pick some stuff up, or, because I'm a boomer. If you ask me to help you move, I'm not doing it, so I don't want one that even qualifies. I don't want a truck that qualifies for me to haul your crap from point A to point B. So I think about that, and if I were one of those dealers, so if I were a Hyundai dealer, and I'm going to tell you that I almost bought, and I'm 61, so I almost bought a Santa Cruz because it fell in my demographic, and I don't want to haul anything. However, if I wanted to create a tribe today, I would drop some interesting, fun, quirky post today on Facebook that may be something crazy that boomers used to do back in the day. Now, whether that was, I don't know, something stupid like playing marbles, if that was...
Peanuts and Coke.
Do we remember?
Peanuts and
Do we remember
Coke,
Jacks, or putting your peanuts in your Coke bottle, right? All of those things are things Boomer did that nobody does anymore. But those people are still out there, and so if I made a post like that, even if the one with the ball and the Jacks, right, and said this is a real Boomer game that we played when I was younger, drop me some things that you did as a Boomer or you've seen your Boomer parents do in the comments down below. And so when they comment on this thing, and they'll come out of the woodworks. They just literally will come out of the woodworks and drop all these boomerisms in there, and they're just going to play with me, and I'm going to comment back to every one of them. And then tomorrow, I'm going to post that picture of that Santa Cruz with some silver-haired lady sitting in front of a yard sale, picking up some stuff and putting it in her Santa Cruz, right? I will have cued the tribe today, and then I serve them up tomorrow what I want them to see. And so then my Santa Cruz post isn't just going out to the Wild Wild West where we don't know if anybody's seeing it. I know they're seeing it because I pulled them into the vortex today. So you can think about that with any kind of tribe, soccer moms and minivans, cool cars and tattoo people. You can pull those tribes in anywhere by looking at, like, what do they typically drive, who are they, and how do I get inside their newsfeed. So creating tribes, for me, is so important to manipulating the algorithm.
So that's the whole point. So once you create the tribe, that's what you can serve them up without sounding salesy.
Absolutely. So you're getting it to the right people. I liken it to, like, every town has a Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. And if you had, like, Nissan Versas, if you were a Nissan, like, rolling down your window during Mardi Gras down in the South and just yelling out the window, Nissan Versas for $199 a month. And you don't know whether any of those people need a car, want a car, know what a Versa is, you know what I'm saying, have a driver's license. So, like, literally, you don't know. Like, you're just yelling into the void. So create your audience first and then serve them what you want.
Okay, now transitioning to this on conversations and converting them to appointments. So what's your process when a customer drops a how much in the comments? Do you ignore it? Do you treat it with, or treat it like a phone call?
Well, for me, I use the AIM method. So acknowledge it, ignore it, and move on. Because they're really not asking that. That's just all they know to ask. They're like, just how much is it? Well, first of all, one, they're not paying cash. And you need to find out some more things about them. Like, what is their budget? What do they need? What does their family need? Like, if they need 7 seats because they have a big family and they've got to accommodate that, you need to ask some questions clarifying, because price is not really what they want to know. They really want to know, will this fit in my budget and will this fit my lifestyle? So we just kind of acknowledge it, understand, while I'm looking that up, let's talk about what you need, blah, blah, blah. And we just redirect the conversation back, because we all know that probably 80% of people that come in on that red Ford F-150 they saw on social media, they're going home in, that Kia Rio.
So how do you coach GMs to turn their comments into their comment threads into appointment logs?
So if we're talking about, the two different things, obviously, we said comments. If you would have said DMs, that's a different conversation. But in the comments, for me, that's an opportunity to showcase my transparency. In a comment, I'm going to give them exactly what they asked for. And the reason I'm going to do that is because there's going to be 1,000 other people that are going to see that video, let's just say, or 10,000, or, it could be whatever, 1 million. And I want everybody that views the answer to the comment to see my transparency. So in the comment section, I'm going to give them exactly what they asked for, because I want the next person to feel like they can ask their question and get their answer. Now, to DM, I 1,000% agree with Robin. That's more of a sales situation. That's where what we were trained to do in sales is going to come out a little bit more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's
when
more
necessary.
of a BDC tactic.
Exactly. Yeah. But in the comments, it's all about transparency, and it's got to be genuine. So I'm a big fan of whatever it is you're asking me for. If I know the answer, I'm going to give it to you, so everybody that views that also sees my transparency, and that builds trust.
But that's also the type of dealer that you are, too. There are some dealers out there today that still do not have their prices even on the website. So you may not even have access to that. So you have to kind of work within the guidelines of what your dealership wants you to do as well.
So just quickly, because Sean said something I think is very pertinent earlier to this, is when someone puts in a comment, and I'll use real estate because I see this all over my Instagram feed. It's ridiculous. And they'll have a house, and you look at it, and you hit the more, and it's got all the things on there. The only thing it doesn't have is price. So the first thing people do is say how much. I see it in every comment, and it says DM me for details, and they won't put it in there. And so, like when he said earlier, you become scroll worthy. I immediately just go past it. I'm done with you. If you can't answer that question in the light, I don't trust you in the dark. And so that's where social media is.
The truth of that is that because now you as a customer can put yourself in that market or out of that market. And so if they don't reply, you can probably go back, like let's say that you put the price of that vehicle or that house in there, and then they don't reply back because they've taken themselves out of that market. Then you can go back in and message them and DM them and go, were you looking for something in a different price range at that point? Sure. And then have that conversation, just like the realtor should as well.
Yeah.
So who here has actually set an appointment from a Facebook comment? I know. Robin?
A lot of them, yeah.
Tons of them. Tons. That's what my team does all day long. So absolutely have. And even on marketing my own business, and you have too, marketing your own business and yours.
Acquisition.
I mean seriously. Yeah. Seriously, we all should be doing it.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're going to transition to a little more acquisition. So, Darrell, when inventory's tight, do you recommend to buy more cars or buy more attention?
I'm going to recommend that you buy more attention, which inevitably gets the first question answered. Is we say the inventory's tight, we're hard to find it, so we make reactive decisions. We go make very bad decisions. I don't know if anyone can even make an argument that would stand up against that. When we buy more attention, we're creating a brand and we're creating awareness to where people want to come to us. We're no longer out there hunting for it, so we can make good decisions when they come to us. So we get in this hamster wheel of like, let's just buy more, we'll sell more. Then we bought the wrong ones, we made the wrong mistake. We're not selling more, but now we're on bad inventory. When you get more attention and people come to you, you're creating a third piece of your business. So now you don't just have service and sales, you're bringing another reason why to come to your store, which is acquisition.
Mm-hmm. Well, but also like creating that hubbub, that awareness. I mean, I'll ask people because I can't tell online if they buy cars, and so when I go to dealers to either be doing training or onboarding them, whatever, I'm like, do you guys buy cars here too? And like some of the salespeople would be yes, and some of them would be like, I don't know. And so I think that awareness of them in acquisition is like so important.
I do too, and just real quick, I mean, I know Darrell said the word buy more attention. But I think organic, when inventory's tight, I tell guys all the time, and there's guys on TikTok right now making this video that talk to me, and I guided them through. When inventory's tight, guys, I mean, the answer is to make content about that. Make content about your struggles as well. Hey guys, inventory's tight. I'm looking to buy 100 cars in the next 30 days. If it's between 2016 and 23 with under 100,000 miles, shoot me your VIN. Inventory will not be tight for long. I promise you that. You'll get more people trying to sell you their car than any ad you can put.
And what do you think about niching down on that? Like we're really looking for Toyota sedans, blah, blah, blah. If you guys have one right there, I'll even look at some higher mileage on a Toyota because we know that they'll go further.
Yeah, and just so everybody understands what Sean was saying, I'm 100% a component on everything organic. Not to say you don't want to money into social, but you have to establish the organic side before you boost something. I think people immediately go, I'm going to boost something, and it's going to get attention. If you have no presence, it's not getting the attention you want.
So that leads
And what
us-
does organic mean, Sean?
Well, I don't really know. I don't really know. No, I'm just kidding.
What's the F word you use?
I know what I compare to organic. My favorite word is free.
Free.
Free. It's free. That's why when guys ask me, because we're trained as car dealers, because we learned at Northwood or wherever we learned how to be a car dealer. Well, what's the ROI? What's the ROI? What are you talking about? There's no spend. It's free. So that's a trip up that as dealers we're programmed to ask. But if I turned that around and said, well, what's ROI on CarGurusCars.com and AutoTrader for you? They wouldn't have that answer. So why are, what I'm saying? I'm not sure. It's just a pre-programmed question.
Well,
but
it's like, what's the price, right? They're just pre-programmed. That's what they know how to ask.
Right.
So Darrell, that leads us to what's more valuable for acquisition, $5,000 campaign or 5,000 eyeballs on a free post?
I mean, it's always going to be the eyeballs, and we can do that in 3 different ways. Like, you guys can do this today. You don't have to have me come train you or any of us come in there. First, you have to have social media. You have to. They spend 5 hours a day in America on social media apps. That's not counting phone calls and everything. It's just apps. And then we have Google listings. You have to have one so that you're indexing. And when you get eyeballs, then again, it brings in that third wave of business. We have been conditioned over the last 60 years that we service vehicles and we sell cars. And we have 2 companies out there that said, we don't want to do either one of those things. We just want to buy cars. And they're literally slapping the industry around. And it's because they said, we're going to create something no one else did. So now we have to jump back onto that thing and say, okay, we need to tell people we do this, not in addition to, but a completely, it is another service we provide.
So why do you think organic social is often overlooked when it comes to when that can bring in car buyers and sellers to the lot?
Understanding, training, and it comes down to the same issue that Robin sees with BDC and stuff, and Sean sees with social, is we don't have someone to hold people accountable because they're not trained, right? So they don't know what they're supposed to be looking at, so then they don't know how to do it. And it's always that really hard step of asking for help. If you're an alpha or you're in a car guy, it's just we don't do that. We just magically know how to do everything. When you ask for help because people took the time to know it is, once you learn it, then you have to hold people accountable because it has become the culture of it. This is what we do. Once they see it work, I've not seen a store go away from it that has embraced it.
So what training method works best for teaching acquisition? Is it mindset through social, role play, video, or straight up trial by fire?
Well, I know every dealer wants to say just throw them into it and go trial by fire because that's how we were all trained. Let's see if they can swim, okay? I will tell you it's always going to be role playing, doing it with them. So I have Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram. I don't have any issues there. But TikTok was it's a different one, okay?
Well, you're getting there.
So I got with Sean, and Sean, we spent probably an hour, and I need to spend more time, but just an hour, I immediately have grown almost 200 followers in a week. And the reason why was just, what are you doing? Because each social media, you have to walk through and figure out what you're doing. You can't just say, make this video and throw it on everything, because there's different audiences, different speaking, different things. But when you start talking about that is who's training them and then who's making sure they do it and then coaching them on it. Because you can go and show someone one time and role play with them and hope they get it, but what's the reinforcement behind it? So you always need the anchor behind it of how that's actually working in a daily.
So what would happen if acquisition goals were tracked by post and DMs, not just by phone calls?
They would buy more cars. I don't actually track any of my clients, their actual purchases. I don't. I track 3 metrics, and it's all the activities I could care less about the purchase. Because if you're doing the activities and not buying cars, there's a deeper problem we need to suss out. But I have not had one client that does the actions and tracks them that does not get results.
Okay, now Sean, I have a question for you. When did you realize that social media was the future?
Well, so I had that situation with the Mitsubishi, and then here's a situation that still to this day gives me some anxiety. But a negative experience for me was the turnaround where I turned it into a positive experience. Thank God I had the right mindset with it. But I was posting behind the scenes content, and I was kind of the first guy on TikTok to do true behind the scenes content. Like, I want to show the public what we really do. I think there's a thirst out there for what do car dealers really do and what goes on behind the scenes. And, when you go talk to that guy back in that back office, what are you guys really talking about back there, So I just put my phone down, and I went back to work. And I'm desking deals and training salespeople and calling banks and appraising trades and, doing the whole thing. And I happened to, so I told myself, I'm going to do this and I'm going to post whatever, good, bad, or ugly. People are going to see the transparency from me of the car business. And so I posted a video, and a young man came up to me. His name was Kyle. We're still friends today, and we're friends.
Disclaimer.
And so I made this video, and I was shooting video, and Kyle came up, and Kyle was 23 years old, and he had just started there, but I knew he had a future. He was going to be good, and he came up to me, and he'd only been there for a little while, and he said, "Hey, boss," he said, "can we talk about vacation time?" And, I know it's hard to believe looking at me, but, I'm Gen X. I'm a little older. And, no,
50,
I was just
50,
from
right?
a different,
Just
we're
50
from
plus.
a different era to where that's the last thing that we thought about when we started a job is vacation time and paid time off. We just weren't raised that way or built that way, whatever. So I responded back like the Gen Xer that I am. And it was tongue in cheek, and he knew that I was kidding. Because, we liked each other, had a relationship. He knew I was kind of kidding, but kind of being serious. Unfortunately, the camera did not know I was kidding. So I came off as a very brooding, tough drill sergeant, sort of old crotchety car guy who this poor young good-looking kid was just trying to ask about his, time off or whatever. And that was my first viral video. And I got a call from my sister after about 2 days, who's my best friend, who begged me to take the video down because the comments were so mean. I got extreme hate for 3, 4, 5 days straight. It wouldn't stop. And but that's when it hit me. She said, "Please take that video down. I can't see people talking to you like this." And I said, "Are you crazy? I just had 1 million people who know who I am, know what I do. They've seen that side of me. Now it's my job to show them the other side now, but I got them right now." And so that's when I realized how powerful it was. It was both scary and enlightening, and that's when it hit for me that this is absolutely the future. And this was, 5 years ago. So, but yeah, that's when it hit for me. I don't know about anybody else.
Okay.
Well, so I'll share a real quick one. So I've been doing a podcast. I've been out in the social sphere on 3 of the platforms, and then just recently TikTok. And this is where I think dealers need to understand is it's not going to happen in a day. It can. I mean, miracles happen every day. But maybe it's a month, maybe 2 months. But I've been doing my podcast now for a year. There's been 52 episodes. I think we're just at 56. And it was last month I get a message. I don't know who these people are. I get a LinkedIn message saying, "Hey, can we set up a meeting and everything else?" And I'm like, "Of course." So I had to go do research on them because I'd never had a conversation with them. I've never met anyone from this group. And they said, "We've been following you for 7 months.
Wow.
Watching everything you put out there,
Wow,
everything
wow.
like that." And different, I don't just do a podcast. I do other posts and things like that, free trainings, things like that. And then they said, "Hey, we want you to come aboard because we just can't seem to get this going." And so it's also understanding that, though I'm talking about business, that is the same way people react, is they may be looking at you, and it's not going to be an immediate thing, but then all of a sudden they're like, "You know what, the consistency, he's there, he's trusted." And then it hits. And so you have to ask yourself, are you building a brand across all individuals or a brand to the individual you're hoping for?
Well, and the best analogy of all of this is myself and Beverly, right? So I'm on social all the time. Like I'm good, bad, ugly. If I'm a Goodwill, it doesn't matter. If it doesn't matter. Like I'm on social all the time. I post everything. My life is content. That's how I feel. I'm expected to be this person if I run a social media agency. And Beverly is never on social media, ever, right? Like never. Most people don't know who she exists. She has to reintroduce herself to people over and over and over again because nobody knows who she is.
10
And so
times.
that's the stark difference of us going to NADA and going to Allegiant Stadium and some rando running at me going, Robin, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, who is this? And I'm having to like hug him and act like I know who he is. Oh my God, it's so good to see you. I have no clue who this human is, but he's seen me so much on social. He thinks he knows me. And so that is the difference in our world today, which is tough for a boomer or Gen X to go, this is how people relate now. But then it didn't hit home for me a lot until like I met Adam Marburger in person. And I met him at NADA in Dallas, and I thought I knew him. Like, I thought we had met until he walked up to me, and I was like, we've never met, have we? And he goes, no, because I would have realized he was that tall. I didn't realize he was that tall. And so Beverly is invisible on social. And so when we go to conferences and events, it's the truth. When we go to conferences and events, nobody knows who she is. And it's because of the social side of it. She thinks she meets Jason once, and she thinks or 4 or 5 times, and she thinks Jason's going to remember her, but she's not on social. She doesn't post about her life, and that's how we connect. And so you can see the difference, someone who does do it and someone who doesn't do it, how that works out in the real world. Sorry, Beverly.
And a quick side note, if you ever do get to see when Robin gets Beverly on social, absolutely comical, okay? So comical.
And NSFW.
Okay, we're going to have to wrap this up. But Sean, this is a very important question.
Okay.
Why does the first 3 seconds of a video matter more than the entire walk around?
Yeah, because that's when they decide whether or not they're going to scroll. Some people would say it's even shorter, but you have to have a hook. You have to grab the viewer's attention and let them know that they're about to receive content that's going to be either educational, informative, or funny. And if you are going to be a good creator and really resonate, all 3. If there's a way you can deliver a message that's informative, educational, with some humor, you have a very good chance of succeeding. But they need to understand that in the first 3 seconds, because if you imagine yourself scrolling, we are all sitting there like this, and we are just waiting to scroll to try to find something that's going to grab us and resonate. So you got 3 seconds.
Yeah, and we were even studying that last night. So Sean sent me a video last night. So those first 3 seconds are important, but then the next 15 is another benchmark that you want to look at. So we are constantly always studying social, and because it's true today, it may be tomorrow, it may be 2 seconds. So we're like, how do we keep ahead of that?
Okay, so social media, we've established, is all about storytelling and conversations. And I need each of you to wrap up where social media should be heading with the sales team.
I'll start with that. Social media should be a requirement when you hire people, and it should be part of your hiring process. Not like when I say you go scroll them to see what they have in there. They should have to do something that they post that you get to evaluate to see, like, do they understand how to talk to people?
Well, and it should be part of their pay plan as well. So not just do come to work clean and you're ready to do your job, but also on social. And if they're not willing to do that, I mean, I would probably highly recommend not hiring them, because you want people proud of their work and what they do. And we see it all the time. We see people that are just kind of, I don't want to put it out there that I sell cars. Really, then go to work at Sam's. I don't know what to tell you, because if you're not proud of what you do in this industry, get out of it and save all of the rest of us that time. So it needs to be part of their pay plan as well.
I believe that as a sales manager, general manager, or whatever it is, how you're holding your people accountable, the days of how many calls, emails, texts did you make are over. It's calls, emails, text, DMs. And if it's not, you're missing out.
Okay, well, thank you. This has been amazing, and I hope you all have enjoyed it. So one word to sum it up, Darrell.
You're great.
That's 2.
God,
She's worth 2
He doesn't
You're
follow
funny.
directions.
You're funny.
That's 2.
What about me?
Can you guys follow directions?
Social media.
Great.
Amazing. Amazing.
Hey, for everybody out there joining us live, we appreciate you. You are a game changer because you got to watch this. Now, you guys get to participate in the Q&A. Robin's going to be joining me here in just a moment. We're going to jump online real quick, and we're going to answer some questions for you guys. Thank you. Thanks, guys. This is great.
Absolutely.
Thanks for tuning in to the Strategy with Jason podcast with your host, Jason Harris. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Happy podcasting.
Hey, guys, I'm back. How are you? Man, I love talking about social media. Like, there were so many stories. I mean, there were so many stories shared there of success. Look, I know I've personally had, at least a dozen or so stories that are exactly in line with that. A lot of people ask me and they go, Jason, why'd you start a podcast? So, for a lot of you out there that don't know, I started doing a podcast in 2016. So coming right up on a decade now. Done a little over 2,000 episodes, which is absolutely mind-boggling. But when you enjoy what you talk about, it's actually not crazy at all. But guys, I can't tell you over the entire decade just how many business opportunities, how many conversations that it has generated. The funny thing is, it's just here's the thing, and they talked a little bit about during the session, but just something I always want to bring up is that you got to be authentic. Look, you don't see me doing a podcast about golf. Even though I do like to golf, all right? Look, because at the end of the day, that's just not what I'm passionate about, right? There's a level of authenticity that comes out when you're passionate about it. I actually had a dealer friend of mine who had a salesperson who just was really struggling to connect with people on the showroom, right? So, we had them kind of jump on. Robin's backstage right now. She's trying to jump on right now. Jump out and jump back in. I gotta love technology, guys, when it doesn't work, right? Anyways, so I had this good salesperson friend, and I sat down with him, started talking to him, and realized that yes, he sold Chevy trucks, all right, but man, this guy's real passion was fishing. Come to find out that he was like a retired pro angler. Guys, I didn't even know you can actually get paid to fish. Like, that's a thing. Like, you actually make money at it, and not, some serious money. Like, there are real competitions out there. Anyways, he was just telling me story after story after story. And it was just so natural for him to talk about this. And I said, boom, that's what you got to do. And we originally he went out there and he started recording content that really had to do with stories of him fishing and all of the great adventures he had. And he just started doing this just from the back of his pickup, and I was just absolutely blown away with just within months of just the following that he had, the people that were connecting to him on a regular basis. And he made some serious money. And funny thing, still probably not the best salesperson in the world, but one hell of a fisherman. And just he connected with that audience. Hey guys, I got Robin with me right now. I'm gonna bring her up. Let's bring up Robin. Robin, what's up, girl? How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing super good. Sorry for the delay. I was on my computer trying it, and then I thought, I'm just going to go to my phone because that's where we all live anyways.
It's technology, man. You
Yeah,
never know, right?
it's just how it goes.
Sometimes it likes it, sometimes it doesn't, right?
Yeah.
Robin, thank you so much. It was a fun session. This was so much fun to record. You guys touched on so many great things. And Robin, I'm amazed. We still have hundreds and hundreds of people that are still on the feed right now. People have been texting in their questions. So since you're here, I want to get into these because we got some great ones in here, right? Look, I have several variations of this question. So, guys, by the way, we may not be able to get to all questions. So, if we don't get to your question, I will post them in the notes. Robin will go back, be able to respond to them. But I also encourage you guys to reach out to Robin, all right? Because she's like just honestly a good human. And she just loves talking to people. So, you make sure you do that. But here's our first one, Robin, real quick. If my salespeople hate being on camera, do I force it or is there another way? Now, this is one question, but we got several variations of this question. Go ahead.
Well, so the answer is forcing them, you'll just be turning over people because they don't understand. They don't know why they need to do that. So, probably teaching them how to do faceless video. And that is maybe they do a walk around video where their face isn't in the camera, right? They're videoing the vehicle, but then they're laying their voiceover on the top of it. And so then they get comfortable with their voice. And then you'll take them through baby steps of getting to the point where maybe they cameo in somebody else's just for a second. And so if you're trying to get them to be like going on camera, like even the ones who like use companies like Co-Video and they have to send their customers a video as soon as that comes in, as soon as the customer like expresses interest, they send them a video. They're super awkward with that as well. And so I realize I know the value of me being able to see their face, know, like, and trust them before I get there. Like I have a visual connection with them. However, start them out baby steps. Start them out with a video where their face isn't on there, and then ease them into being fully on video.
I actually think that's a great strategy. Guys, like, this is going to sound weird. All right. I don't think I've really actually shared this with many people. But I actually hate watching my own content. I legitly hate. I don't go back. When everyone's like, "Are you serious? You've never gone back and listened to one of your thousands of podcasts?" I'm like, "No. I mean, I was there when I recorded it, but I
Yeah.
actually just, And I think most people are like that. I think most people just fundamentally just don't like that. So I mean, I think a great strategy. Start them off with just something simple. Maybe they don't need to be on camera, and then just get them to the point where it's just you shoot it, you forget it, you move on. Right. All right.
Well, I
Here we
think I was at a dealership last week, though, same thing. And this girl has been doing great walk around, and she's lovely. She's a lovely girl. She's probably 25 and really pretty, and not like flashy pretty. She's just an attractive person. And she's like, I'm just not comfortable putting my face on there. But her videos are doing well without it. Like they're doing really well without it. And I said, why don't you practice one time a week where at the end of the video, you record it one time in your phone and go, hey, this is JJ, and this is what I look like, or what do you want to say? This is JJ, and whenever you get to the dealership, just find me and I'll do blah, blah, blah. That way, like it's just a snippet at the end. And if they watch all the way to the end, they see you. And you don't have to keep recording it. To record it once and then in CapCut, add it to the end of every walk around video.
That's a good one. I like that. Okay, here we go. We got another one. Okay. We actually got to cut. This is another one of those that we got a couple variations of. So I'm going to paraphrase this a little bit, guys. I'm a manager. I have staff that are both in their 20s and in their 50s at this same time. How do you train these two groups differently, or do you do it the same?
So I'll tell you, and this is gonna be like a shameless semi-plug, but whenever I was creating Social Grenade, I had to solve that problem. I had to have an app that would work for salespeople that were 20 and salespeople that were 60. So the technology had to be simple enough for my generation, because I'm a boomer, so it had to be simple enough for my generation who didn't grow up with technology to be able to function within it every day and not be like so frustrated they're throwing their phone and going, I'm not going to sell cars anymore if I have to do this, but also interesting enough for my 20-year-olds that they would jump in there and do it. So I understand the dilemma. So the thing that I would say is that if you can train them and it's easy and it's fun, you've
Sure.
conquered both ends of the spectrum. So the training that you do for your Gen X salespeople is going to be, how can I do this simply? How can I train you so that you can do this simply and make, short video, don't ramble on, get to the point, whatever I hear. And then for your younger generation, they're going to want to do, that fun skit stuff, whatever. And so you do train them differently, but it has to be fun and easy.
I think you're right. I mean, and just before you jumped on, I was kind of sharing a story of a good salesperson friend of mine who loves fishing. He's used to be a pro fisherman. Didn't even know that was a thing, by the way. But to your point, right? I think everyone's got a passion, and you just gonna have to find that with them. All right. Let's grab another one here. Okay. Man, there's some good ones here.
I
All
think
right.
you're a pro fisherman. I've seen you fishing at events. Like we're at an event together. We're like, where's Jason? He's out fishing.
I try. I definitely am no pro, but I will. I do love getting out there on a lake, though. That is very true. Okay, here's another one for you. We've tried getting our salespeople to post before, and it dies after 2 weeks. How do we actually make this stick? A great question, by the way. Really good question. I like
It
this.
is, and I hope you're ready, and I hope you, Mr. Manager, are ready for the answer because it is a top-down leadership initiative. And so, if it is not, number one, I said it in the whenever we did the Nashville event, if it's not part of their pay plan, they're not going to do it. And if your management team isn't doing it, they're not going to do it. So it's hard to tell your kids to eat their vegetables if there are none on your plate. And so leading from the top down, if you believe in it so much, why aren't you doing it? And if you're doing it, then you can hold them accountable and you can go, hey, this is part of your pay plan. I do it and you're no busier than I am. And I make sure that I get a video out a day or I get a post out a day. And if I can do it, you can do it. But the problem generally stems, Jason, with a question like that is that they want to go back into their little busy work and then make them do this thing. And really, if you are bought into social, you're doing it as well. And then
That's
tie
so
it to their pay plan. Tie it to their pay plan.
look, you're 100% right. And I know me and you have talked about this a bunch of times, right? Like,
Mhm.
social is not a campaign. All right. It is an intentional commitment
Yeah.
to a routine and a process, right? Like, this is not, you don't just get good at social one day, right? Like, it's like, I just don't lose 20 pounds one day. Oh, I wish I could. I wish that was possible. But, anyways, you got to put the work in. All right. I like that.
Same. Yeah.
Okay. Here
Well,
we go.
but the
Here we
same thing though too, and it's reps, right? They're
Yes.
really bad when they start, right? Just like at the gym, you're really bad. Like I tell people this story all the time. Beverly and I are at the gym every morning. My business partner and I are at the gym every morning at 6 a.m. And like right now, all I can bench press is the bar. Now that doesn't mean I shouldn't do it anymore because that's all I can press, right? That bar is 45 pounds. I'm 61. I'm okay with those results right now. I'm okay with that. And like, if I will work up to putting 5 pound weights on each side of it eventually. But here's the deal. I'm still doing those every day. I'm not like going, well, it just doesn't matter because I'm not gaining any. It doesn't matter. The repetition is helping me be strong. In social media, the reps are what make you better as you go and you analyze what you've done in the past and go, this worked, that didn't work, this worked, that didn't work. If I keep doing squats and my butt still stays flat, I know I'm not doing the squats right or I'm doing them in the wrong manner, right? I need to change up exercises. So then the way you would analyze yourself at the gym is the same way you'll analyze yourself on social media. This worked, that didn't.
100%. You're absolutely right. Okay, here we go. I like this one, and we got a couple variations of this one as well. What KPIs should I actually be looking at for social activity for my team?
Okay, so the individual salespeople.
Yeah, like what KPI should we be looking at on an individual level?
Okay, so right now, Facebook is really, really pushing towards views, where it used to be likes, comments, shares. Those were the vanity metrics that you looked at, and their following you looked at. But now you want to measure their views every week. So once a week, we make all of our team that's on Social Grenade send in their screenshot, and their analytics have their views on it. And so, I'll tell them, if you have in this past week 25,000 views of your content, people slowed down on your content long enough to absorb some of it. I mean, that's quarter of Arrowhead Stadium, right? That's a quarter of Arrowhead Stadium. Well, probably 80,000, but whatever. That's a lot of people. And so then you want to see those numbers increasing because then it takes people about, and this isn't scientific, but it takes people about 22 times of seeing you before they actually start engaging with you. So if you're only posting once a day, and you're getting a reach of about, let's say, generous 10% of your followers are seeing you, it's going to take a lot longer for you to hit one person 22 times. And so more is better. And I'm not telling you that you need to make social media your full-time job, but views is what you want to see. And you want to see that number increasing every week. And when you see it go backwards, which mine does when I travel, because I don't post as much when I'm traveling because I'm in an airport or whatever, I see like if I'm normally sitting at 72,000 views for the month, and then I come back and I look and go, I must have been traveling a lot last month because I'm only at 45,000, and I could beat myself up over that. I can go, it doesn't matter. 45,000 people viewed my content, and that's good. So I would be looking at those views because you're creating mini celebrities out in the community. When they go to the grocery store, they're like, oh, you're Evan. You worked out at blah, blah, blah. I love that video you did, da, 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 da. And you create these little celebrities, but it has to do with their views. That's really the only thing I would measure.
No, that's actually a really good point. I have found, all right, that people have become conscious about the algorithm. All right. And, it was so funny because I actually became really aware of this, a couple months ago when like my wife went to go show me something that she found on social. Right. And I accidentally hit the like button. Oh my gosh, I thought I was going to, like, have to move out and find a new place to live. But I was like, "Why is this a big deal?" She goes, "Ah, now my feed is gonna be full of that stuff, and all I really wanted to do was just show you that one time." So here's what I've found, is that people become so aware, all right, of the algorithm leaning towards something that you either like or comment on, that if you just do one simple like on maybe some new Nissan vehicle that's coming out for literally the next 3 or 4 weeks, the
Yep.
only thing you're gonna see in your feed is Nissan. I'm 100% with you. I actually do believe people have literally dropped off of the likes and comments because the algorithms are not actually being that helpful with it, and the views are necessarily definitely the most important one. I'm with you.
Well, and even Gary Vaynerchuk said follows are dead. Like, don't worry about follows right now because there's so many people that I consume their content, but I don't follow them. Right? I just don't take the time to go click the button. And
Full
here's
show.
what I do. Yeah, I manipulate my algorithm, right? If there's something that I'm really interested in, but I don't have the time right now to go explore it further, I will click the link, go out to the thing, because I know that it'll keep coming into my newsfeed and it'll remind me that I was interested in those balanced Gibbon boards, like I really want one. And so now, like every time I log on, they're on there right now because I haven't bought one yet, but I'm okay with it being there right now because I haven't bought one yet. And then once I do buy one, I'll click the 3 dots up in the top and go, don't show me this anymore.
Yeah, I think that's actually a good indicator. Like, you really know that you're super low funnel if you like something. I think people that are in kind of the shopping or the research or consideration phase, they don't do that. They're just simply consuming. Anyways, I know we got a couple more. We got a few more minutes with you, or actually we're at time, but I want to throw one more out there real quick. And guys, for everybody out there watching, listening, we didn't get to your question. I will make sure we post that below and we'll get that answered. And please reach out.
I'll answer.
He's great at it, right? But here's one more. I like this one because, all right, how do we keep content from feeling fake or forced when we roll this out at our stores?
Well, don't be fake or forced. How about that?
Like drop.
So here's the thing, right? Be authentic. So you want people to do business with you because they know who you are, right? They know that this is who you are. So if Bob loves fishing, if Jason loves fishing, Jason needs to be as the individual salesperson, he needs to be talking about that he's fishing on his day off as well, right? Like that needs to make it to social. And then the tribe of people who fish or who are attracted to people who fish, who like to follow people who fish, will be like attracted to his content about fishing. And I know that sounds, what does that have to do with selling a Nissan? Nothing. It has to do with building that authority figure within Jason. And they go, hey, Jason's a decent guy because I fish too, and I'm a decent guy. They will absolutely paint him with that paintbrush. And so just be authentic. You know, behind the scenes stuff is a lot of fun because I'm going to tell you, people, as a consumer who's bought cars, who has not been in automotive my entire life, when that salesperson leaves your desk and goes up to that little high tower thing that they all stand behind, you know, as a customer, you don't know what it's called. You're like, you think they're up there talking smack on you, right?
Yeah.
So some of the best content producers out there right now are recording behind the scenes stuff, and they just have their phones set up. And when the salesperson comes up to them and goes, hey, they're trading in a 2023 Nissan Altima, and they're looking at this Pathfinder because they just had two set of twins and they've got to upgrade their vehicle right now. If they think they're a little bit flipped in their car, can we do anything? And then
Yes.
and the manager's going, you know what? I think I've got somebody that's probably interested in that Ultimate because we don't have any on the lot right now. I can do blah 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 on that. I could probably eke it up a little bit more on their trade value if we could do. And those behind the scenes things, what's happening is now the customer knows what's happening, that the salesperson is advocating for him, that the manager is advocating for him, and they get to see this. That's how it doesn't look forced and faked. Is you're being authentic about how your dealership runs. You're not creating a TV show that's scripted. So just start being real about and if your culture is crap, don't take on social media. If you have a horrible, crappy culture at your dealership, run. Keep on TV and radio.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like if you don't have a real clean process and you don't have a great culture, man, look, social can actually hurt you in some cases. This can just
Absolutely.
amplify the fact that you're a crappy place to work for. Anyways.
Yeah, because then you have all these people commenting on your stuff too, going, don't go to work there. They're liars. They don't act like that.
No. And we had several different questions that came in, and I think you did a great job answering kind of like, what's authentic, right? And it's just like, it is being authentic. It's finding that thing that, you like talking about fishing, or I met a salesperson that was like crazy about Jordans, like the tennis shoes, like insane, a big collection, went to shows, all this stuff. I would say 90+% of whatever he posted on social was about that. And then occasionally he would post something at the dealership where he'd be like maybe doing, a deal like, hey man, I'm going to give away these set of kicks, to anybody that comes in and something like that, and it worked. It worked for him because it was authentic. It was fun to watch. And I'm not a sneakerhead. I don't get into that stuff, but I mean, see, then you would enjoy that person's content for sure. And I love your point. You're 100% right. Hey guys, I know we're at the tail end of our conversation where our time is up, but I still think there is a lot to be discussed here. There's some questions we may not have gotten to. Hey, Robin, for everybody out there watching and listening right now who would love to connect with you and probably continue some of this conversation, because I definitely think there's more to be talked about, what's the best way to connect with you?
On LinkedIn, if you're a LinkedIn person, Robin Wilson SCP, I think is my handle on there. But I'm on all the socials, literally even TikTok. Meet the Robs on Facebook. Robin Wilson. You find this face is the one. I have a blue check mark, so you can't miss it, and the blue hair is always there, so it doesn't change. And DM me, like seriously, you can DM me at any time. If you want my phone number, we can give you that too, and I answer text messages all the time. So 417-629-8006, and you can text me any question that you have, and I'll be glad to answer it, because this is my love language, talking social media and how dealerships can raise their organic awareness and make their ads perform better and start telling people who they are and build that trust before they walk in the dealership is so important to me.
It is, and I'm with you. I'm so in line with you on this. Hey, we still have a lot of people that have stuck around. I can't tell you how much I appreciate everyone that has stuck around for this feed. I am thoroughly impressed. That people out there are taking social media seriously to stick around for and consume this entire content. Great questions. Hey, for everybody out there watching and listening, we appreciate you. One of the biggest compliments you can give us as content creators is share the show. Look, Robin and I already said it. We know you're not going to hit the like button. You're not going to post a comment. Hence the reason I put the text button. We're okay with that. We're okay with that, right? All right. But one of the biggest compliments you can give us as content creators is share the show. If you got a friend or colleague or manager that needs to see some portion of today's conversation, share the show. It means a lot from us. Thank you, Robin, so much for your time today. And everybody out there, you have yourselves an amazing day. Thank you.